friends, users of the internet. My name is Staggertron, and I humbly welcome you to another one of my videos. Continuing on with my video game collection series, I thought I would share with you, if you can't already tell by the title or this massive stack of video games, I'm sharing with you today my Wii U collection. Again, we'll be focusing on my physical releases that we have for the system, and in case you missed it, I'll leave a link somewhere here, probably, to the last video I did discussing my PlayStation Vita collection. If you haven't already, check it out. I appreciate the support. So without further ado, let us get to the games. Alright, so the first game in my Wii U collection is 007 Legends. Now, as of late, the James Bond series have been a little more hit or miss as of late. Unfortunately, this one's a very big miss. Although it does have some really good ideas, taking the most recent James Bond, played by Daniel Craig, and retelling about 4 or 5 famous James Bond missions from the various movies like Goldfinger and Moonraker. Although that's a really great idea, the game unfortunately does fall really short and comes off as nothing more than a Call of Duty clone, unfortunately. A very huge missed opportunity. I think they wanted to rush this out for when Skyfall came out. So if they do make a 007 game based on Spectre, which I think would be awesome if they did, hopefully they take these improvements and hopefully they improve over this and take the criticisms of this game into consideration. And up next we have Amazing Spider-Man 2, based off the movie of the same name. Oh no! Aren't movie games bad? Aren't they shit? Well, this one isn't really that bad. And I missed out on this one when it came out on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, so I decided to snag it up on the Wii U for a reasonable price. And one great bonus about this game is it comes with all the DLC on disc, so it's sort of the definitive edition when it comes to the versions of the game. Now, this is your typical open world Spider-Man. I guess Beanox was trying to capture the magic of Spider-Man 2 from back in the day, because everyone seems to think that Spider-Man 2 is the definitive Spider-Man experience. I could beg to differ, but I digress. This game is infinitely better than its sequel, and the story is kind of a cool premise too. It's more or less a non-canon sequel now that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is actually a thing, so the story in this one is kind of dissolved, but either way, you should definitely check it out if you are a fan of Spider-Man. Has a bit of an Arkham Asylum feel to it in terms of the fighting, but overall it's not a bad game for a movie tie-in. And here we have Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth. Now, this game was originally released as a Kinect game. I believe it was exclusive to the Kinect, and it had very horrible motion controls. So seeing a port of this to the Wii U has made it infinitely better. It's a fighting game, surprisingly, but it's not like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. It's primarily a touchscreen fighter, so you're drawing gestures on the Wii U gamepad and tapping buttons to do your special maneuvers. It's not a bad game. It's not a good one either. The graphics are decent. There's a good, decent-sized character roster. If you can find this one on the cheap, it doesn't hurt to check it out. But I feel like this game would probably benefit more as a mobile title, because when you're playing it on the gamepad, it's definitely how it feels. And here we have Batman Arkham Origins. Now, the reason I got the Wii U version of this game is, well, I'm not really a multiplayer gamer anymore, so this version of the game primarily just has the single-player campaign, which is awesome, so I can sort of go at it at my own pace and my own leisure, and I don't have to worry about multiplayer that's been tacked on to an already excellent game. I know this is the sort of the black sheep of the series because it was developed by a different studio. It was, I believe, WB Montreal, and it wasn't developed by Rocksteady. And it doesn't really do anything new to innovate the series, but it's definitely, I would say, a decent game in the Batman Arkham series. The fact that there's no multiplayer in this one might turn some people off. Also, as well, I guess the Wii U sales of this game were really poor, so the developer has decided to pull the season pass for this one. So another downside is all the DLC that were released for the PS3 and the Xbox 360 versions, unfortunately, were not released for the Wii U. But if the Wii U is the only system that you have, you can definitely find this for a much more reasonable price now. So if you love Batman, check it out. And here is Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. So again, this is a Wii U port of the PS3 and the Xbox 360 game Batman Arkham City. Again, it's more or less the definitive edition as it comes with all the DLC on the disc, and it does add a couple of Wii U exclusive features, such as the Batman armor that you see featured right there, and a couple of gamepad exclusive features pertaining to the Wii U. So if you have a Wii U and you've already played this game, it's not necessarily a necessity to go ahead and play this game, but if the Wii U is the only system you have, definitely pick up this other excellent entry into the Batman Arkham franchise. Alright, and here we have probably one of the main reasons why I wanted a Wii U, and the main reason why you should get a Wii U, Bayonetta 2. The surprising Nintendo exclusive sequel to the absolutely fabulous Bayonetta. Bayonetta was an excellent game, made by the creators of Devil May Cry. Same fast-paced action, definitely awesome boss battles, punishing difficulty, interesting areas, interesting characters, and the game just looked flat out sexy. Now the one benefit of this game is it actually comes with the original Bayonetta on disc as well, so you're getting two games for the price of one. And let me show you. So there's Bayonetta, and there's Bayonetta 2. And the original Bayonetta comes with some Nintendo exclusive content. So if you haven't picked up this game, what are you waiting for? And you know, definitely check it out and buy a Wii U to play this, because I don't foresee this coming to any console soon, because Nintendo was the only company willing to support Platinum Games on this. So yeah, check it out for sure. And this is Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. This is actually a spin-off game from a series of minigame puzzles found in Super Mario 3D World, but this game significantly expands on that concept. This is a puzzle game. It's not really my genre, but this game has a certain charm to it that you know, keeps me coming back for more. Now the game might seem a little repetitive because the objective is ultimately the same. You do navigate through the puzzles trying to collect 3 gems every round. There are also secret bonus objectives that aren't really noticeable until you actually beat the map. Very good use of the gamepad. You know, I'm actually pretty impressed considering that they made a full-fledged game out of a small minigame collection as a, you know, as sort of a subquest. There's 70+ levels, amiibo support. If you're definitely a fan of puzzle games, I'm definitely recommending this one. Again, puzzle games aren't normally my cup of tea, but I love this game. It's great. Now this is a fantastic game. Here we have Darksiders 2. I'm currently playing this one. I'm about 6 hours in and I absolutely love it. This is what happens when you take Legend of Zelda, mix it in with a little God of War, blend in a little bit of Prince of Persia with sort of a Diablo-esque loot system. The combat's really fast and fluid, interesting characters, interesting stories, very visceral moments. This was the definitive edition because this comes with most of the DLC on the disc, but it's recently been announced that there is a PS4 version coming out in the near future called Darksiders II, the definitive edition. So I don't know, maybe I'll definitely check that one out, but if you haven't played Darksiders 2 yet, I highly implore you to do so because it's a great game. Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Now this, of course, is the Director's Cut of Deus Ex Human Revolution that came out for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. This version of the game includes all the DLC that was previously released for it. It's definitely a fantastic game if you haven't checked it out. It's more or less a first-person shooter with some very heavy RPG elements in a very interesting cyberpunk setting. You know, you can upgrade yourself with different augments that give you different abilities. And what's nice about the Deus Ex series is it gives you the freedom to tackle the missions any way you choose. If you want to go in guns blazing, the game's not going to stop you. If you decide to play the stealthy route, you can definitely do that too. You know, different gameplay styles reward different outcomes, and they have different sets of challenges. So definitely check this one out if it interests you. And here we have Donkey Kong Country Returns Tropical Freeze, another excellent addition to the Donkey Kong Country Returns series that originally started on the Nintendo Wii. This game's fantastic. It's really great to see Donkey Kong in 1080p. The visuals look stunning. Now, don't let the charm of this game fool you. As with all other Donkey Kong games, it has a really steep challenge to it, and it ramps up fairly quickly. The first few worlds, you know, they start off nice and easy to sort of, you know, coax you into the game, and then you know, as you go into the game, it definitely ramps up. What's nice about this game is you can play as 3 distinct characters. You play as Donkey Kong, of course, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, which is also a welcome addition to the franchise since Donkey Kong Country 2, and for the first time ever, you can play as Cranky Kong, which is sort of a homage or a nod to Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, as you can use his cane as a sort of a pogo stick to bounce around. So if you're a fan of Donkey Kong Country and you haven't played this game yet, what are you waiting for? You should probably play it. Up next we have Ducktales Remastered. I've also played this on the PlayStation 3, but I decided to buy it for the Wii U just because DuckTales sort of feels at home on that system, considering that this is a remake of a classic NES platformer made by Capcom back in the day. This version was developed by WayForward, but Capcom did have its input. For the most part, considering that I've never played the original DuckTales, I'd say that it does sort of live up to the original, judging by the gameplay that I've seen. It does change a couple of things. I know there are some purists out there that don't particularly like this version, but the graphics are great. It has a really good hand-drawn art style. It's really cool that they got the original voice actors to play their supposed roles. So I mean, the voice of Scrooge is the voice of Scrooge in the show. One of the turnoffs in this game is there's a lot of dialogue, and for some reason you can't skip it, so they tend to break the flow of the game. But it does have some really solid platforming. The music's really great, and if you haven't played this game and this game sort of interests you, despite it being DuckTales, it's definitely worth a shot. And here we have Hyrule Warriors. This is a spin-off of the Legend of Zelda franchise. It's essentially Legend of Zelda meets Dynasty Warriors, and damn does it pull it off quite well. This game is super fun. I enjoy it a lot. It's another one of the reasons why I got a Wii U. The action's fast-paced, lots of characters, lots of Zelda fan service. So if you're a Zelda fan, you definitely owe it to yourself to play this game. Now, if you've missed it out on the Wii U, it has been confirmed that there is a 3DS version coming out sometime this year or early next year. So definitely have some options here to try to, play this great game. And up next we have the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Now this is an HD remastering of the GameCube game of the same name, and oh boy does this game look frickin' pretty. It's a pretty amazing, remastered graphically, and to see it in nice bright 1080p graphics. And they definitely fixed a lot of things. 'Cause I remember when I played this on the GameCube, I never ended up finishing it because there's one section in the game where you have to sort of search for Triforce shards, and that was a little bit of a pain in the ass. Well, apparently, they fixed that, and they fixed a lot of the mechanics, and it's adopted well to the Wii U gamepad. I'd definitely love to put more time into this one. But if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, even if you've already played Wind Waker, you owe it to yourself to play this one. And here is LEGO City Undercover. Now this was the first big third-party exclusive to come out when the Wii U launched. It's fantastic. I mean, it's a LEGO game. Has the same great humor that's found in all the other LEGO games. This game is fully voice acted, but which definitely separates this game apart is its vast open world. Just think Grand Theft Auto, but made in LEGO form without all the violence. But that doesn't mean it's not a bad game. Definitely check it out, especially if you like collectathons, because, well, we all know that the LEGO games aren't short of that. And here we have the granddaddy of all kart racing games, the latest edition in the Mario Kart franchise, Mario Kart 8. This game is fantastic, and if you have a Wii U, you owe it to yourself to have this game. I believe this is the game that made the Wii U sell. Fantastic visuals. This game is absolutely beautiful. Interesting cast of characters. This game is essentially all, best things about all the previous Mario Karts rolled into one. And they're still supporting the game. This game has been out for a year. And, they have excellent DLC packs out and, different downloadable things. Now, unfortunately, I wish I had put more time into this, but as you know, if you follow my channel, I started doing a Let's Play of this, which has kind of been left on the back burner, but I definitely want to get back into it, so this is why I've been sort of holding off on it. So stay tuned, you may see some more Mario Kart in the future. And here is the latest addition in the Mario Party franchise, Mario Party 10. So it's basically what you would expect from a Mario Party game. It's great to see it on the Wii U in next-gen graphics. It has amiibo support, But for the most part, I mean, it's pretty boring if you play by yourself, but if you have a group of friends, it's definitely worth checking out. Tons of minigames, the boards are kind of interesting. The only thing I don't like is something that carried over from Mario Party 9 is the way you navigate the board. You're all restricted to this one vehicle, so it seems like the turns are sort of prolonged. But other than that, you know, like I said, if you can get a group of friends together, it's definitely a party to be had. And here we have Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Now, isn't that a mouthful? Now, of course, this is the latest entry in the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games franchise, which has been around since 2008 with the Beijing Olympics. Essentially, it boils down to a minigame collection, but you get to play as various Mario and Sonic characters in various Olympic sports. There are also dream events, which are really cool, which are these sort of over-exaggerated variations of the sports done in various Sonic and Mario venues. If you're looking for a really solid minigame collection, I would definitely check this one out. Again, you know, definitely a game you'd want to play with more than one person. And here we have Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. This is, of course, a updated version of Monster Hunter 3, which originally appeared on the Wii. And I know everybody loves their Monster Hunter. Now, of course, I never really played this all that much. I guess I really couldn't get into it, or I couldn't understand the mechanics of the game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. I mean, the game looks great, it plays really cool, and basically the objective of the game is to go on various quests with either yourself or with groups of people, slay very vicious, angry, gigantic monsters, farm for gear, and essentially become, I guess, the strongest hunter within the game. I'm not too sure of the story or the plot. Again, I haven't really played all this much. I definitely want to give this another go. I have tons of friends that play this and they swear by this game. So again, definitely not a bad game. I just couldn't get into it as much as I would have liked to.